Hello, everybody. I'm here for the Destiny review. I said it was coming, and here it is. I've been wanting to talk about this game for a little bit now. Got it on launch day, been playing it, and usually what happens at this point is I'll kind of show you the box art that I own the game. I cannot do that. Did I download it? No. I bought it physically. I just no longer own it. And the reason why I no longer own it, I'll explain in this review. So, I got this game. We were excited to get it, me and my group of friends, because we loved the Halo series. I've always been a big fan of Bungie. I got the original Xbox after Halo 2 was about to come out. And I just... there was such a big hype around Halo 2. I said, well, let me check out Halo 1, and I do want to check out this Halo 2. It's a big deal. And I had a blast. I remember playing with my cousin and stuff. It was so fun with multiplayer. And I got into the series. I've played every single game in the Halo series except for ODST, and I loved them. I even liked, the 343 stuff, but the Bungie, developed Halo. Loved them. I pre-ordered Destiny because people said, hey, it played like Halo, it feels like Halo. The marketing and everything showed, hey, you're going to get a big group of friends together and be able to take these missions on and stuff. So one of my favorite things about Halo 3 when they started that was you had 4-player co-op to be able to play with your friends or whatever, and we'd get online and just have a blast, like going through the story and stuff. And I just loved doing that with my friends. So, and the competitive multiplayer as well. We all pre-ordered it and got it. It was me and 3 other friends. And I had played the beta and stuff too, and I only got to play with one other friend that decided to get the beta there with me. But we started the story missions up, and we have a fire team, and we see that you can have 16 people in it. Cool. So I invite my 3 other friends. We have a fire team of 4. And we go into the first mission. It makes you do single player to get you kind of to grips with this. So we all have to wait for each other to finish that. So we wanted to start at 6. It's about 8 p.m. when we finally have to start, and we start to play, and we go to this first mission, and it says you have too many people for this activity. And I don't think so. I thought it was a glitch, and we were all kind of figuring out because we had glitches with the fire team trying to invite each other, wasn't working, so we thought that was a glitch as well. It was not. After fooling around with it for a couple of minutes, my friend looked and he said, just looked at the details, like on each mission or whatever, it's 1 to 3 players. So like, dang it. So let's split into 2 and 2. Not all 4 of us can play at once. We'll keep on the party chat until we get to the missions where it's 1 to 4. Play one more. Play one more. And we're kind of like, I think the whole planet of the moon, the first planet, or not the moon, Earth that you play on, you won't be able to, play 1 to 4. So my friend looks up and finds out that none of the story missions are 1 to 4. It's raids and strikes that allow you to play with more than, or not, maybe it's strikes, I believe. It's one of them is still 1 to 3 as well. I think it's strikes. I want to say strikes is the ones that let you play 1 to 6, I believe. But we find out like the story is not that. And I talked to people at work, and I've talked to other people, and they said, oh yeah, you just do the strikes. You do the strikes. That's when you get more people. It's fine. It's not a big issue. But as I started playing, I found that the story missions make up a big portion of the game, a huge portion of the game. And that's what I was kind of looking forward to, was the story missions. So that doesn't hurt me. But that's what the game is a lot of story. But you can only play 1 to 3. And the reason they kind of gave this, I've read or people were telling me about, was they said they tried it with more and it didn't work. Then how do strike missions work? Why can't you just make more, when I add another player to my fire team, add more enemies I have to kill? Make the enemies tougher. Like, there's no excuse for this. And if you did it in Halo 3 in 2007, there's no excuse that you have 1 to 3 on this multi-million-dollar game that they've put all this money into. It doesn't make sense. So a lot of people were kind of complaining about that. Like, 1 to 3 does not make sense. And that kind of just really bummed us out. So we've been playing 2 and 2, or we were. And so we played through the game, and we get to Mars. Me and my friend or whatever, when I have to do 2 and 2. we finally end up getting to Mars, and I'm talking to a friend at work and saying, yeah, we're at Mars right now, blah, blah. And he's like, oh, you're at the end of the game. And I said, no, I've only done the Earth, Moon, Venus, and Mars. There's, I'm still at, 1/4 through the game. And he said, no, the end of the game is on Mars. There's only a couple of missions you have left. And, that paired with the co-op, and then the other issue is it's been a kind of a joke now, is the story. And when I first started, I said, the story was starting out, and I was like, well, I'm not that really far into it. I don't get what people mean about the story. And now when I got towards Mars, I finally figured that out. And I did that by asking myself, people were making fun of the story, so I went, what is the story? And I sat there and thought, and if someone was to put me on the spot, I would not be able to answer them. I would not be able to answer them at all. The story is very convoluted. It's now coming out in stories and articles and stuff that the lead writer left before the thing was finished. In 2013 to 2014 was kind of a crazy year for the development team because he left. And what happened was, I don't know if this is before or during the time, either or, this is still messed up. When you fight and kill enemies, or you go throughout the game, I don't know how to exactly get them, but I think it's shooting certain enemies or whatever, you unlock these things called Grimoire cards, and it pops up on the bottom, says you have unlocked a Grimoire card. Go to Bungie.net to access this content. And I never did it because I'm playing a video game. This stuff's kind of neat. I just thought it was extra. I come to find out it's the story. You have to go to Bungie.net. You have to look at these little cards and read these cards, and that fills in the gaps of the story. How lazy is that? And I've seen people say, that's not lazy, it's cool, whatever. It's cool if it's additional content that kind of shaping out a story. But when you don't even have the main story in a game that you paid $59.99 for, that's stupid, and that is punching your consumers right in the face. It's not right to shove off, here's the rest of the story, we're just going to type it up and you're going to read it on a website. No, tell it while I'm shooting enemies in the face and jetpacking around. Tell me that story during the game. Why did I pay $59.99 for what feels to me and what feels to others is probably 1/3 of a game. Feels like 1/3 of a game to me. And then you put the 2/3 of the story, the rest of the story parts on a website. What were they thinking? And so the story absolutely is terrible, the way it's told. A lot of stuff feels like it just wasn't done. People even noticed in the first level, the fallen, the enemies you fight in the game, are climbing on walls in that first level, and they're doing these different pre-scripted animations to jump around and stuff, and you have to shoot them up on the walls, and they're going nuts. And people notice that never happens once outside of that first level. So the first level feels like the full vision of Destiny. Some of the stuff they do in that, some of the people were talking about trip mines or stuff they use in that first level, that's never brought back again. What happened? And people are starting to ask those questions. What happened? What happened? And what people are starting to find out is a lot of stuff was cut. It was kind of rushed in some parts. It feels rushed in some parts. And another part of it is they have a DLC expansion pack for $34.99 that you can buy. And as I'm getting towards Mars and stuff, I was right at the end of the game and stuff. After reading all this and just my experience with it and the bad stuff I'd felt with it, I sold the game. That's why I can't hold it up to you. I sold the game because I wanted to jump the sinking ship while I still could. And what's interesting is, I want to say too, is when I review these games for you and stuff, I know that I'm going to like most of them. I've been playing games since I was a little kid, and I can look at games, I can watch the trailers, I can know the developers, I can know the style of gameplay, and I can look at it and say, that game I'll love. That game looks interesting. That game I know I'll have a blast with. That game I know reviewers have had problems with, but I'm going to eat it up. Hyrule Warriors is an example. That got 7s in reviews. I'm going to love that game. That's Zelda. You're just smacking people. I'll love it. And I did. And that's a whole other review. But when it came to Destiny, I pre-ordered it. It had Bungie. They were making it. People early stuff that was coming out was, they hadn't got the full whatever, but it felt like Halo. It looked great, and it had a lot of promise in the marketing. The marketing made it look like get a big group of people. It wasn't fully an MMO per se, but you got a big group of people, and you go forth in these stories and whatever. Awesome, that looks fun. And what we got was we just totally were kind of, I want to say, bamboozled. We were just totally just caught with it. Like, they just came up and pulled our pants down. Trickery, just absolute jokes is what was played on us, because it's not a full game. It's 1/3 of a game, and they want you to play. Well, they want you to play and pay these expansions to fill out the store, which I know that they're going to whatever. And the right thing to do is to, and they can't do this now because people have already given them money. They're not going to go back on this, pre-ordering expansion packs. Cut the price, make it free, and make the several next expansions free to give us the full game. And that was the biggest reason I sold it. When you play this game, the combat and everything does feel like Halo. It's super fun, and people have even, agreed with all the stuff I've said, but they said they can't stop playing it. And I absolutely agree. When I was playing it, it is so fun. It's fun playing with, the one other friend I had. But the combat is great. It feels great. You're jumping, you're jetpacking, whatever you're doing, whatever. The speeder bikes feel fun. It is so fun. Don't get me wrong on that. That is one good thing. That is the shining point of this game is the combat and how fun and great and addicting it feels. But everything else around it just smothers that. It smothers that to a point where I think it was enough for me to go, I gotta get out of here, because I paid $59.99 and I did not get $59.99 worth of content. And that's why I sold it. And that's why I recommend to you guys, if it's fun, and if you already own the game and you're watching this and you're enjoying it, keep having fun. Keep having fun with you and the people you're playing with, or if you're playing alone, awesome. I'm not trying to kill anybody's experience with that. But what I am trying to kill is the game industry, or Bungie and Activision, thinking that they can give us 1/3 of a game and sell the rest of the content, even though I haven't got my $59.99 worth. So when I sold it, I ended up getting $40 for it. So I paid for $20 worth of content, and I feel good about that. The game is worth $20 worth of content. It feels like a downloadable type game. A lot of stuff is repetitive. The story's not there. And it's very, at its core, a mediocre game. And I got $20 worth out of it, and I am pleased and walking away. I will not be paying for the expansions. I will not be paying to make the rest of the game fill in. That is not right, and I won't support that. And this is the first time in years that I have felt this conflicted on a game, because I felt tricked. I think a lot of people felt tricked because, when you see big names like that, if people, the next Elder Scrolls, Bethesda's on the thing. Yeah, I'm getting that. I'm getting that. Like, I don't even have to see trailers. I'm buying that. I'm putting my pre-order down. It's done. Naughty Dog. Oh, they're making a new Uncharted. Guess what? I'm buying that. I know what I'm getting, and I know the games I've enjoyed prior in the series, or the stuff that developer's already done, or the first initial trailer I watch. You know what you're getting, and I know what I like. But this game just was total a trick on the consumer, and that's not right. So the music's good. The music's pretty. It's awesome. Paul McCartney did work on it as well. One of the Beatles, and the graphics look great. I think all of the planets, that's another thing I think I can throw in with the gameplay, is each of the planets, like the moon and Venus and Mars and stuff, they all had a unique look to them, and I've never seen that in a game. Like, just I think people just were bragging on the skyboxes, like the outward, when you're looking out towards the sky and all this other stuff, when you're looking out at the planets and stars and stuff. It's awesome, and I really wish they would have fleshed that out to make a full game with some of these assets and stuff. So, not all is bad with this game. It is very mediocre, and you are definitely not getting a full game. And it doesn't feel like that way. And a lot of people have dug into this and found no, we did get kind of gypped on the game itself. So, Destiny, if you have it already and you're enjoying it, keep enjoying it. Keep enjoying it unless you're having some of the thoughts I had, where jump the ship, get as much money as you can get back on this game before they start milking, the DLC. So yeah, another thing too, it felt in the sense of the milking thing and already having the expansions when we haven't got the full game, it feels like a Activision. I think what they were going for is in the similar sense that mobile games. You buy the game or you get the game for free, and then the in-app purchases fill in the rest of the game. You actually get the full game through that. I feel they tried that with this. And I know they said this is a growing game, it's growing or whatever, but if you haven't given me $59.99 worth at the beginning, like World of Warcraft, people still like that. Those people were happy to keep playing because they were getting their money's worth probably from the beginning of the big world that they had to explore. That's not the case with this, and this feels like a mobile game experiment on a console, which you're going to be playing with bigger dollars here. You're playing with bigger dollar amounts. You're playing with $34.99, $59.99. That's a big chunk in people's wallets. When you're playing with 99 cents and $2, people aren't expecting that, and they let that ramp up or whatever. But to try to do it with $34.99, can't do that. Can't do that with that much money. So Destiny, good gameplay wrapped in bullcrap. It's at its core. There's some good stuff, and it's wrapped in just bullcrap and charging you and milking you money. Give it a do not get it, and if you have it already, enjoy it. Keep doing it. So thanks, guys. I'm gonna have some new reviews coming up. Lots of new stuff has come out. Lots of new reviews. So thanks, and see you later.